the headlines. China's president extends a hand and a peace plan to Russia's Vladimir Putin in the pair's first meeting since the invasion of Ukraine. The United Nations releases a major new report on climate change, dubbed as a survival guide for humanity. All eyes are on Asian markets opening as banks and governments around the world try to address turmoil in the financial sector and encourage confidence. The barricades go up in New York City in preparation for protests amid speculation of incoming charges for former President Donald Trump.
And turning powder into beer, a German brewery comes up with a new product that could change the entire alcohol market and be good for the planet.
Large numbers of demonstrators have again taken to the streets of Paris after the government narrowly survived a no-confidence vote over its controversial pension reform. More than 100 people were arrested in tense standoffs with security forces. There have been months of strikes and blockades across France in protest against the pension changes. The Democratic Unionist Party in Northern Ireland says that it will vote against the UK government's new Brexit framework when it comes before MPs for the first time this week. The party leader says there are ongoing concerns about the legislation. EU member states are expected to endorse the deal on Tuesday. The King of Thailand has formally dissolved the country's parliament to pave the way for a general election in May. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's conservative Royalist Party is facing a challenge by the party led by exiled populist former PM Thaksin Shinawatra, his daughter. Mr. Prayut led a military coup which toppled Mr. Thaksin's sister as prime minister in 2014. Sri Lanka's president says the International Monetary Fund has approved a $2.9 billion rescue package to help the country out of its current economic crisis. In return, the government has agreed to raise funds by restructuring state-owned enterprises, including privatizing its airline. Sri Lanka defaulted on its debts last May. 6 members of a far-right U.S. militia known as the Oath Keepers have been convicted of charges linked to the Capitol riot 2 years ago. They were among thousands of Donald Trump supporters who tried to prevent Congress from certifying Joe Biden's election win. Now, so far, prosecutors have filed criminal charges against more than 1,000 people.
3 men have been found guilty of the killing in the United States of the rap artist XXXTentacion. The 20-year-old performer, whose real name was Jarcy Onfroy, was ambushed and shot in a robbery in Florida Street 5 years ago. 3 defendants were found guilty of first-degree murder and armed robbery.